otherwise known as Priestess of Balance. Today, I want to teach you about something most spiritual channels they get wrong, the difference between your intuition and your anxiety, because they can feel identical inside the body, and if you cannot tell them apart, you'll spend years making decisions based on fear that you thought were actually guidance. Now, I've been reading professionally for 5 years and I hold a certification in modern applied psychology instructed by Kame Ramsey from the Institute of Achology. And I've watched thousands of people confuse anxiety for intuition and make decisions they regretted. So today, I want to give you the tools to tell the difference between the two, because when you can, everything about how you navigate your life changes. So, why do they feel like that? Here's the reason so many people confuse between the two, anxiety and intuition. They both arrive as a body level signal, a tightening in the chest, a pull in the stomach, a sudden knowing that something is wrong. Both are pre verbal, both feel urgent, both come from underneath the thinking, but they come from completely different places in the nervous system. Intuition arrives from a regulated, coherent nervous system that has picked up information the thinking mind hasn't processed yet. Anxiety arises from a dysregulated nervous system that is scanning for threat based on old patterns. The signal feels similar, the source is completely different. And this is why you cannot tell them apart by asking, why does this feel true? Both feel true. You have to use a diagnostic here. So, the 4 diagnostic questions. These are the 4 questions I use with my clients when we're sorting intuition from anxiety. Then you can use them on yourself. Okay? Question 1. Does the signal have urgency or does it have stillness? Intuition, in my experience, is quiet. It doesn't insist. It says something once gently and then it lets you sit with it. If you don't act on it immediately, it doesn't get louder. It just remains patient, waiting for you to be ready. Anxiety is the contrast. It's loud, it insists, it wants you to act now. If you don't act now, it escalates. You feel a rising sense of, I have to do something right now, or something terrible will happen. And that is almost always anxiety, not intuition. So, question 2. Does this signal narrow your options or does it open for you? Anxiety narrows it. It tells you there is only one right move and all the others lead to catastrophe. It creates a specific kind of tunnel vision where the world becomes very small and very dangerous. Intuition tends to open up to possibilities. Even when it points to something specific, it does so from a sense of possibility rather than restriction. It says, this is the direction, without saying, and everything else is death. Question 3. Does the signal have a story attached or does it just have a knowing? Anxiety loves stories. It builds, it elaborates narratives about why this thing will go wrong. It rehearses scenarios, it shows you the worst case outcomes in the vivid detail possible. Intuition is much simpler. It usually arrives as a plan or a plain sentence with no explanation. Something like, don't get in that car, or call your mother, and this job is not for you, or don't text that to your boyfriend yet, or don't tell this to your girlfriend yet, or don't buy that for your wife. So, all of those things, it just comes in a very simple form. When you notice you are rehearsing a story, that is anxiety. That is not the true knowing. Now, question 4. After acting on the signal, does the nervous system settle or does it activate? Now, this is the retroactive test, and it is the most useful. When you follow real intuition, your body settles. Even if the action was hard, there's a specific relief afterward. Your breath deepens, your shoulders drop, the signal completes. When you follow anxiety, the opposite happens. You act, and then a new anxiety arrives. You are relieved for 30 seconds, and then a different fear starts. Anxiety is a treadmill, intuition is a doorway. Yeah. What to do when you cannot tell between the both? Okay, this happens a lot. Sometimes you cannot tell in the moment. That's normal. Here's the practice for those moments. First, do not force a decision. If you cannot tell whether a signal is intuition or anxiety, that itself is information. The right move in that state is almost never to act on the signal immediately, it is to wait. 24 hours if you can, sometimes a few days. Intuition will still be there in the 24 hours. You just require patience. Anxiety often burns itself out or moves to a different target and then magnifies it for you. Okay, second, sit with the body, not with the thoughts when you're trying to sort through the two. Close your eyes, feel the signal in your body without adding language to it. Just be with the sensation. Notice if it wants to relax when you attend to it. Intuition often does, or if it needs you to keep the alarm going, anxiety does that often. Okay? Third, journal the signal, not the story. Write down, my body is telling me this, without writing the reasons your mind is generating. Then leave it. Come back to it the next day. If it still feels true after a night of sleep, then the body still feels the same signal without escalation. That's usually intuition. If it shifted, changed, shaped, moved to a different target, or intensified into panic, please know that was anxiety. So, where does the tarot fit into all of this, right? So, this is where tarot becomes a genuine tool rather than a spiritual novelty. When your intuition and your anxiety are indistinguishable inside your body, a card pull can externalize the question. You're no longer trying to feel the answer inside a nervous system that has been confused for years. You're asking a specific question of a specific system, and a reading what shows up. Here, watch what I'm doing here now. I asked my question, and is this a signal I'm feeling of intuition or anxiety about a specific situation? Like, I'm talking about this video now, so how will it go? And I pull one card, okay? So the card is not going to say intuition or anxiety. It's going to show me the energy of the situation. If a card of anxiety comes up, Nine of Swords, the Moon, sometimes the Devil, that tells me my signal is more likely fear. If a card of clarity comes, it's the Star, the Hermit, the High Priestess. That tells me my signal is more likely knowing. Okay, let's see what comes up. Oh, I have the Queen of Wands. So that means this video will go well. And on the other screen that I'm going to show you now, you are seeing my reading studio platform. So in the section of this video, I'm going to show you my reading studio that I've been working quietly behind the scenes for the collective. So here you can see I've uploaded a digital tarot. You have different kinds of spreads. You can shuffle, you can create a new reading. I'll show you the other, nitty-gritty functions in there in a separate video. So we're going to demonstrate intuition versus anxiety when it comes to the tarot, right? So what my question is, how will the collective perceive this platform as? How will they take it as, right? So I have the spread of past, present, future, and I'm going to shuffle the cards now. You can do this digitally, absolutely works. And let's see what comes up. So in the past, I definitely would have felt, or even doing this, I would have felt, we're going to find out what the card is in just a few moments in time. There we go. So we have Judgment. So I would have felt called to do it, but then I would have been afraid about what would people think, right? And then in the present, what do I feel now? I do feel hopeful. I feel that I've worked hard for this platform to give to the collective, and I'm sure some of you would appreciate it. And what do we have for the future? So it's the World card, so absolutely stunning. Many of you would appreciate it. It would help you to practice certain tarot spreads, or just free spread, of course, and to develop your intuition even further through meditation practices as such. So I think this platform, everybody, you might like it or you might not. I'm so open for feedback. I would love it so that I can develop this even further together. I will make a separate video, as I said, on it, and you'll know how to use it. It's absolutely easy. And now we're going to go back into the video of intuition versus anxiety. This channel is not mainly for just pick a card readings. I am aware there are very many talented tarot readers out there. My guides, they have specifically told me to build this space and community to develop your discernment and the collective's intuition, rather than just seeing picker cards. There's nothing wrong with that. That requires exceptional talent. It requires a lot of energy. My path is this path. I'm here to teach you how to use your own discernment, and this is the studio. I will make another video on it, how you can use it, operate it, and whatnot. But for now, just bear with me. This is what real tarot practice is. It's not fortune telling. It's a mirror that shows you back to yourself when you're too close to see it. Now, if this helped you, please give a like, subscribe. I make and I will make videos like this every other week, teaching you about the cards and the spreads and the esoteric messages behind them, not just plain readings. And if you want to practice sorting your own intuition from anxiety with real cards, my reading studio will be soon held at www.priestessofbalance.com, and you can pull your cards there yourself or book a personal reading if you're wrestling with a specific question you cannot get clarity on. It was really nice talking to you guys. I hope you enjoyed the session, and let me see what has come up for the collective and how is the community going to feel. Ta-da! Deep water. All of you are going to do a splendid job in improving your discernment and also getting in touch with the depth of yourself. Thank you so much, guys, and I will see you in the next video.